Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today's day 13. Practice being at the stage of soul consciousness. Become introverted. Today's topic Tapaswi form. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Happy Sadguruvar to everyone. I think that most of you heard the news this morning, right? So what came in the mind? What words you spoke? Someone said it's destiny, right? Someone's, of course, used the word, but that's very painful. That's horrible. From different places, different people, uh, they were calling. Situations like these, as Baba said, they do create fear. Mm. And many, many questions. Should I travel again by Air India or not? Should we even travel? Right? But I had pure thought that Baba, wherever, in whatever way, is the right place. Mm. But soul has to be in remembrance of Baba. Many, many souls don't have that kind of connection with God. But one question everyone was asking if there were any BKs. So we came to know, yes, there were one couple from Ahmedabad. They were going to London. So they were there. And of course, news spread. But I remember that when it was 9/11, and that time Avek Dada said, when there is fire, what you all do? Try to extinguish that, right? And I remember that I was in Malaysia and same morning I was landing. So Baba's children had come to airport. I was in Newark airport. And they just keep saying, just get in, we have to go. But even we tried, but everything was closed. The bridges were closed. And so we couldn't travel to New York. So we tried to find out if we know someone who will be home, but everyone works. But then we realized that there is one family in which mother does babysitting. So she was at home. So we went to her, and people were just watching, watching, watching. And I remember Baba said, no, you all have to be in remembrance. So Baba's words were coming in my mind so much. Then you all hearing about LA. So Geeta Ben wrote a nice email saying, of course, it becomes a big news and it is big, but it's more in the city, in certain areas. But she said, we are okay, center is okay. So I said, well, fire happened in LA, and now this also is happening in LA. So she was okay. She was smiling. So prepared for everything, right? We need two types of preparedness. One is internally, and second also externally. There are some of the needs in emergencies. We should have enough of that. Right? Brother Ram Prakash likes to make popcorn, right? Sitting there. It's very filling, right? So in Peaceful Age, they gave a beautiful gift of a lantern. No? Put batteries, keep it ready. Some of the things which are needed, Baba always advised to have them. Not only for yourself, it helps others also. And spiritually also, to stay very calm, stay close to Baba, and you will have enough power to be observer. And for that, what is needed is tapasya. So tapasya is introverted, very mature, and today Baba is saying tapasya. When you go into on the stage to do service, let others experience you as a soul. So even I said happy Sadguruvar, but I cannot say I am happy, right? Because it won't be understood properly, right? But it's not, we understand drama, so we are stable. So Baba says that a soul who has come out of the cave of introversion has come out of the cave of introversion and spirituality after a long time for the sake of doing service. Let your tapaswi form be visible. Hmm. Some people know what is tapasya, some don't know what is tapasya. But Baba is saying, let your tapaswi form be visible. Let the lines of unlimited disinterest, we call it vairagya, visible on your face. Together with being merciful, let spiritual intoxication of the form of Shakti also be visible. Let there be so much deep spiritual intoxication, and there is mercy. It is now the time to do this kind of service. Because if we are used to doing service through words, through actions, and when we can't do, so there has to be good practice of serving through the thoughts, serving through the mind. any kind of different kinds of turbulences, many, many things will be happening. We are so used to our comfortable living, enough of everything. Mm. But it's all right. It's also good to once in a while practice of mm, not having enough. That's what Brahma Baba during 14 years of tapasya gave them many practices so that there is no suffering. Because otherwise you suffer. This, I don't have this, I won't get this. This might, so many thoughts could come. But Baba has said, yes, my children will have dal roti until end, right? Mm. You like dal roti? How many of you like dal roti? Something very simple. Mm. Okay, so stay well and stable and be with Baba. Om Shanti. Mm.
Om Shanti Didi.
Hello, Om Shanti Jodi man.
So, yes, today, this big event in India goes very well with the blessing and the Avyak signal about the cave of introversion and also power. So, you are someone who was naturally quiet, right? When you were first, even as a teenager, you were a quiet person. You weren't a big talkative person. But some people, their instinct is to talk a lot. So how would you help these people become become introverted, tapasyas type people? What guidance?
Just stay introverted. Others will get the signal, no?
So just even though their mind is talking, just quiet.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, vibrations will definitely help. Just be very stable, very calm, have patience, right? And thinking of Baba, it definitely helps. But it is both ways, no? It's not only I have to help, I need help too, right?
Right?
So when we create that atmosphere, then we help each other. How was your stage? What did you feel?
You mean when I read the news?
Hmm?
Well, the first thought I had was that some people I love take that same flight, and I don't want them to take that flight again. This was not an elevated thought. Eventually, I did sit in yoga and I did Mansa Seva, but the images, the sadness definitely came. So then I thought about this business of power. I mean, how do we? You're right. It's happening more and more, these things that are surprising. And I think stability is the real challenge. How do we not tilt over and become distracted by the distress? I think that's really requires power. And I think you have to help us, Didi. A brother came here this week and he said he criticizes himself a lot. And he said, I know I'm not supposed to, and I know what I'm supposed to say to myself. And I say that to myself. But as soon as I get done, the criticism comes again. So this is a lack of power, right? Our inability to be stable, our inability to remain in our self-respect. So And you have mentioned in the last few days how we tend to talk about service. Our minds go to things that aren't helping us become powerful. So, if you were going to give us three things or even two things to help us become powerful, Baba said Shaktis today, and you talked about the power of remembrance, the power of thoughts, etc. How are we going to really become powerful? How are we going to be able to stay in the stage we need to go through these things?
One of the sister in Peace Village was very honest and came to me that I have very critical intellect. And I said, because you don't see the speciality of that person. So when you don't see specialities, you always kind of, what is she doing, what she is about, what. But one good thing is that she realized that I have that kind of intellect.
Right?
When there is realization, so I said the method is look at the specialities, appreciate that person's effort or karma yoga because she assigns karma yoga to sometimes she gets that duty. So I think all of us have to look at the specialities. Now, power, one thing could be connection no, with Baba. In Lokik way also power comes through connection.
Right.
But also don't, be with your true self also. No? Baba calls it soul consciousness.
Hmm.
Be soul conscious. Remember Baba. I mean, Baba says it again and again, and we hear it.
Every day.
But how much we practice, right? So power comes more. I was thinking during Brahma Baba's time, so many events happened, right?
Yeah.
It was not only partition, there was no food. There
Hmm.
were so many of them. They didn't know where they're going. When they reached Bombay, Porbandar, from the ship by train, they were not sure where they're going.
Right.
Of course, Baba was with them. So that was their strength that Brahma Baba was with them. I think that if we had been honestly practicing, Baba will also help at that time.
Hmm.
It's not only my stage, but recently someone was saying something big happened and I didn't feel, I thought, I felt his Baba is with me.
Hmm.
So it's not only my efforts, but my honest relationship with Baba, that Baba also makes himself available. I think this is what we have to experiment more and more,
Hmm.
you know, either soul conscious stage, angelic stage, some stages, so that I can immediately be stable in that stage.
Right.
But the power is gained by thoughts and power is lost by thoughts too.
Mm. I like that.
Because as soon as wasteful and weak thoughts come, you feel weak.
Hmm.
And if your thoughts are based on knowledge and elevated thoughts, then you feel very uplifted. That's the power. So
Hmm.
power is in the thought, and weakness also is in the thought. Right?
Hmm.
Some of the saints I have seen, and I immediately said, "Oh God, it's destiny."
Hmm.
So this morning I was also kind of somebody called and said, "Do you know?" I said, "No," because it's Thursday and you don't want to start your day with that.
Right.
And then, of course, we thought, let's see. But my experience is that one shouldn't keep watching too. With there is interest because it becomes very political. Now they want some of the top leaders to resign, and everything start happening all over. But also I found that Geeta Benenale was also very stable.
Mm-hmm.
Even jokingly we said, you had so much fire and now you have, today they have curfew
Mm-hmm.
in the main city. And she was light. She said, in certain areas we are okay. Do you have everything? I said, she said, yes. And she's traveling to Brazil. She's not there. But I think that we have to be prepared, right?
Mm-hmm. I think the media often makes it look as bad as possible. And so if we watch those images, it's like you were saying about 9/11. If you keep watching and watching, you keep distressing yourself. So
Hmm.
it doesn't help. So I want to
But
ask you a question about power
also
and
it's difficult to stop watching too, right?
it is hard because you want to understand it. You know, you're trying to understand what's really going on, and the more you watch, the more attached to it you get. So it's not helpful, actually. Once you know the basics, then you need to turn it off. And so I've been thinking about Mama because we're getting all these clips, and because this is her month. And so when Mama showed up, it appears that Baba recognized her pretty quickly. Within a few months, he saw that this was a very special soul. I don't know if he saw everything, but he put her in charge of the satsangs when he left for Benares and Kashmir. Um, and then, of course, we know what happened after that. And I think, Didi, when he saw you, I think he had a similar thought, actually. I can't prove that, but the fact that he kept having you open centers, the fact that he kept showing you, guiding you in how to, start things and move on. So this means that the potential of who we're eventually going to be is living in our current form. So you have greeted so many Kumars and Kumaris over all these years. They've come to you, they're going to either live with you or they're going to run a center. When you look at these ones who come to you, do you sense what might happen for them?
No, I just love everyone and I feel that everything I do, it should be learning for them. And wherever I find they need, certain ways, but one thing is, and very interesting is you have to understand a person
Mm,
so that you can say right things at the right time. And kind of friendly relationship is very important, in the sense of talking about general things. And as I remember when I went to Baba, Baba was talking about my studies and what I do, and so created a kind of bond, so a lovely relationship.
mm,
So, but I basically like, you know, thinking about their future and what are their specialties, and they grow very nicely, if we understand them. And these days, especially, I always say, there are not too many young people, right? So when they come, how do we love them? How to have good wishes for them? And, it's like, keep it like not very all the time, very high level. You
mm,
can have very simple ways. And this way, like, Brother Ram Prakash came when he was 26, Gayatri Ben came when she was 20. But I don't also take on the sanskars of anyone.
mhm,
Even they are whatever they are. There is a song which says, I love your flowers, but I also love your thorns. In the sense of there might be souls who have difficult sanskars, but once you are safe, I have to be safe. Thorn is not to be blamed, right?
mhm.
Oh, thorn. I cannot blame the thorn. Why you prick me? I say, no, you can. Look at rose flower. So many big thorns, right?
Mhm.
But rose flower is okay and actually feels that these thorns actually protect the flower, right?
Mhm.
So I think that every character, every person, every soul, if we are together as family, everyone's part is important, right? Everyone does what their part is. So,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely just love. And if there are some souls who have difficulty, have mercy on them.
Mhm.
Not keep telling them you are this. It's all right. You feel merciful. One good thing is to make everyone feel belonging. It's
Mhm.
one big family, which is very, very important. So anyone who comes to Baba is part of our family, right? So
Right.
that family feeling also nurtures and sustain everyone.
You know, there's something about the way you connect with people that stays in their memory. Do you remember Linda Gerber from Chicago? Do you remember her? She's an
Mm.
old friend. She was in Images and Voices of Hope. She sent me a text yesterday with a picture of Shiv Baba and a picture of you. And she said, my children checked into a bed and breakfast in Chicago, and look what was on the wall. And
Mm.
she's, she said, they wrote to me and said, we think we're in a yogi place. And Linda said when she saw the picture of you, she started to cry. Now, she hasn't been around for a very long time, but there's something about this way of connecting with people where you see what's good in them and you're not expecting anything, right? It's friendship.
Just be loving, loving to everyone. And I think this love, which is pure love, spiritual love, definitely stays in that person. And
Mhm.
at the right time, definitely it helps them, right? So it's not a way, but it's just being loving, being kind,
Right.
caring for others, understand the feelings of everyone,
Mhm.
so it's naturally it becomes very easy.
Yeah. I think you also think about giving opportunity to people to grow. I've seen you do that a number of times where you put something out there and see if it's interesting to them and if they can grow with it. I
Yeah.
think I remember, I feel you did that with me. I had never facilitated anything before, and you asked me to facilitate Images and Voices of Hope, and that was it. I did it for the next 30 years. So there's something about the way you connect with people.
I think the way Baba, Mama, and Dadis, the way they had relationship with me, and
Mhm.
I grew and I was given opportunities, and I think that what happens that Dadi used to give me so many types of kind of training or understanding. And today, when I think of that, I said, how did they know that one day I will have to do that more and more? So we look at a person and say, well, this person in future can do that. And not only give opportunities, but see, one has to be example of everything, right?
Mhm.
We were young and we always cooked and served, hospitality, and many different things which are our basic foundation of relationships.
Yeah.
It has to be natural, right?
I think that's right. It has to be natural and I think let people be who they are. I think sometimes that's a hard thing if someone's come like a peace village, sometimes someone comes and we need to create space for them because it's a very busy place, and they need to have little space to get used to it all.
I am always thankful to my Lokik family. We were taught so many values, ethics, principles in life. And so I grew in a very, very moral kind of family where, and also living in the extended family. We were 23, 25 of us together
It's
in a
a
big, like a British house, we got after partition. The government gave us a very big colony kind of thing where aunties, their children, and we all lived together. We were caring for each other a lot, and how to be with young ones, how to be with old ones, how to be with the equals, which was also our training in the beginning. I think one of Dadi used to tell us how to be interacting with equals, how to interact with little ones. And always remember that what you give, you get, right?
right.
What if you can't give, you can receive too. So I'm always thankful of love everyone has, and so all that is very, very natural. And I'm happy to be what I am.
And we're happy that you are what you are
Mhm.
because it really creates the right culture around you. So, well,
Oh,
thank you.
mm. Okay, Judy Ben.
Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti.